I would like today to cover a wide spectrum of AI development through the various programs that we have set up in the European Commission. And I would like to start first with the funding programs, the research and innovation. We have a new program, which is called Horizon Europe, in which we are financing core AI digital technologies. And typically we do this in order to, for example, increase the possibility for artificial intelligence to manage much better the energy budget, or have a much better human centricity and tackling the bias of artificial intelligence. We do that in collaboration, in partnership, more precisely, with the academia and with industry in what is called a public-private partnership on AI, data, and robotics, ADRA, which is the name of the partnership. But we also are looking into the application of AI to a number of sectors. And here I would like to mention 3 sectors. The first one is manufacturing, where we want to have here artificial intelligence to help competitiveness of industry, and notably by having this possibility to work on a small lot size. So that means I have the possibility not to train the artificial intelligence systems too long before they can be used on the machine. And they must be easy to deploy. We are working here on the production lines. Or talking about media, for example, for the detection of misinformation, of the detection of deep fakes, or in transport and mobility. So we have here a number of research and innovation priorities that we are financing with grants. As part of Horizon Europe, we also have the European Innovation Council. The European Innovation Council here helps startups to go to market with their innovation. And typically here we would be intervening with grants as well as with equity financing. So those 2 are possibilities which are offered through the European Innovation Council. If I go on with the funding programs, we also have a program to deploy, to have the capacity building of having artificial intelligence as a master technology in Europe. And here I'm talking of the Digital Europe program. The Digital Europe program has several trends, several priorities to finance this capacity building. And for example, one of them is the possibility to deploy an AI on-demand platform in order to share excellence, in order to share the best practices of artificial intelligence, as well as to share different artificial intelligence technologies. We have also the possibility to enhance the Artificial Intelligence Excellence Center that we do also through this program. We have also through this program the possibility to have the testing and experimentation facilities for artificial intelligence. That provides the necessary infrastructure for companies to test AI in a specific use case, or to develop AI with a specific scenario in mind, and to see how it's going to be deployed in real life, but in a safe environment. And we have also, through this program, the financing of digital innovation hubs. These are kind of a one-stop shop where companies, businesses, public sector can go and get help, get support to adopt a different type of technologies. Typically, you are a company, you will go to a digital innovation hub, you would say, what is your problem? They will look together with you into that problem. They would allow you to test different kind of technologies. They would have technology window from which to draw. And then you can make up your mind in terms of which are the best technology that you want to use for your specific case before you decide to invest in the deployment of those technologies. one digital innovation hub per member states would be would be focused on artificial intelligence. So this is to say that we want really to have across the whole of Europe the possibility for all companies to either provide AI technologies or to be able to adopt AI technologies for a specific case. We have also a financial instruments, and here, without going into too much detail, let me remind you of the previous fund of funds that we have set up together with the European Innovation Fund, with an injection of 100 million euro in the different capital, in the different VC funds which compose this fund of funds, which has been selected by the European Innovation Fund. Here, we have produced a significant investment for artificial intelligence, going for more than 1 billion in investment in different companies to innovate in terms of artificial intelligence in startups and in scale-ups. The European Innovation Bank, which is also part of the same group as the European Innovation Fund, has joined the scheme also in 2020 with a co-investment facility of 150 million in order to support the growth of companies, and this is dedicated for AI only. Next, in InvestEU, we are also going to have artificial intelligence as one of the strategic digital technology to be supported as a priority in a variety of use cases possible, with deep tech VCs, with generalists, and typically that would be implemented also through a fund of funds with the partner being the European Innovation Fund. This being said, the European Investment Bank will also deploy a number of instruments which are essential for the growth of companies, such as venture debt, which is a quasi-equity instrument, with a focus also on artificial intelligence. I mentioned the funding programs. I have mentioned the financing instruments that we have, and I would like also now to show a bit the role of the facilitation that the European Commission does, and notably through the coordinated plan for AI, where here, together with the member states, we are looking in how to join efforts on research and innovation, on deployment, on investment, and also looking into common issues in terms of regulation. So the coordinated plan provides also the governance framework in which together with the member states, we are actually really creating a critical size in Europe in favor of artificial intelligence. Last but not least, let's talk a bit about regulation. Because we are in Europe and we want to provide legal certainty for a trusted AI made in Europe based on European values, there has been a recent proposal for a regulation of a trustworthy AI. And here it proposes a risk-based approach, which looks into different AI applications and their use, the specific use, to enable these AI applications to be deployed safely and to ensure that the citizen can trust that this is the kind of application which will respect, for example, their privacy, or which will respect their integrity. Now, this regulation has a number of levels from high risk to very low risk, and it provides a number of obligations, such as an obligation of documentation, an obligation of transparency. You must know, for example, if you call a call center, that the operator is a human or is an artificial intelligence engine, as well as human oversight, just to give a bit of the big characteristics of what the regulation is now foreseeing. If we look at what the European Commission does, from funding program to finance to coordination with the member states and offering legal certainty, you see that we have key assets for artificial intelligence in Europe to actually develop.
EU has a blockchain strategy because we think that Europe can play a global role in the development of blockchain technologies and its application. Our EU initiatives include the creation of a European blockchain partnership with a mission to deploy an infrastructure for all member states, giving a pioneering role to the public sector. The construction of a European infrastructure based on blockchain for the public sector is one of our key initiatives. The European blockchain services infrastructure aims to implement pan-European cross-border services supported by the European Digital Programme. The work of these experts gathered around EPSI is crucial to form common principles and standards to facilitate the exchange of information, data, and digital attributes with the user in the center. Right now, we are in the pre-production phase with 30 nodes deployed, covering virtually all member states. And in cooperation with universities in many countries, we want to give students the opportunity to obtain digital certificates of their degrees that they can save and exchange from a digital wallet. Blockchain plays an important role in ensuring that the diploma actually belongs to a well-identified person and that this diploma is still valid at the time the student shows it to an educational institution in another member state or to a future employer. This is an example of a use case for public services that we want to deploy on EPSI. Furthermore, legal certainty plays an important role given the decentralized nature of blockchain. For example, under what condition is the blockchain reliable enough to serve as a reference ledger for large transactions? In what respect do the principles of financial regulation apply to digital assets? All this legal work forms an important part of our blockchain policy. We do this through implementing policies in the other EU policies, such as eIDAS, looking at electronic ledger as a definition, or through the Data Act, looking at defining smart contracts, and markets in crypto assets, which is creating a legal framework for crypto assets as a whole in the EU. Along with the support to investment in startups and scale-ups through the AI and Blockchain Fund scheme, the Commission has also invested more than 200 million in research and innovation, as well as development through the Horizon program. We will continue this approach in the coming period and go further in the supporting deployment of AI and blockchain technology and skills through the digital program, which has just been launched. Finally, we support standardization together with small and big industry through INATBA. INATBA is the International Association of Trusted Blockchain Applications, and also with standard development organizations. And we always say that building blockchain ecosystem is like a team sport. We must first agree on the rules of the game, which is the governance, and then also on the standards that will allow interoperability. And that's why we supported the creation of INATBA. However, its members are located all over Europe and the world. INATBA has two main tasks. First, INATBA aims to accelerate standardization work so that blockchains can talk to each other. Secondly, INATBA is a real platform for regulatory dialogues across the globe. This is where European regulators enter to talk with those of Canada, the United States, Africa, or Japan. And these regulators can there also meet and learn about possibilities of new technologies from startups, scale-ups, and unicorns. So the Startup Nation Standard is a new initiative from the European Commission, which was integrated in the SME strategy. What we want to do with this is to ensure that the most promising and strategic startups stay and flourish in Europe. So we set out the Europe Startup Nation Standard as a hallmark of growth-friendly environment across EU as member states. The standard includes best practices in many areas of importance to startups, such as establishment of a startup as a legal entity, and that they can do it fast, in one day for less than 100 euros. Faster processing of visas for tech talent from third countries, or fair treatment of stock options. Those are examples of 3 standards of the 8 that we now have agreed with the member states to improve. So far, 27 countries, the 26 EU member states and Iceland have signed up for the initiative. And in doing so, they confirm their ambition to become an EU startup nation by implementing the best practices. And earlier this month, on the main stage of the Web Summit, this initiative took a major step forward when 27 countries backing the initiative launched the EU Startup Nations Alliance, ESNA. At the core of ESNA's mission is the real-world task of supporting the 27 countries in implementing the growth-friendly environment for startups and scale-ups. And ESNA will be that vehicle that will turn these aspirations into real-world action. We want entrepreneurs in strategic deep tech areas such as AI and blockchain to be able to operate in conditions that are optimized for growth. And this is why we work together with the EU member states on the Europe Startup Nations Alliance.